Hey guys, Dr. Justin Marcagiani here. Today's video is going to be on meat. Does it stay undigested in your colon? We're going to talk about this myth here today. Before we dive in, please smash the like button, put your comments down below. Really appreciate it. And again, share with family or friends. So this is a question I get a lot. Does meat go undigested in your colon? You hear all kinds of myths about people dying and having all these meat in your colon. In general, when we look at digestive physiology, once you kind of look at physiology, things start to make a lot more sense. So if you look at where protein digestion starts, that's going to be in the stomach. So the stomach has a very, very low pH. That pH is low to be able to, one, kind of disinfect and clean the gut. Acidic pHs tend to be antibacterial. Two, it activates proteolytic enzymes, which start the protein digestion. So first part of digestion is with your teeth. That's mastication. Second is going to be through enzymes in the stomach, proteolytic enzymes like pepsin and such. And that good acidity is going to help break it down as well. And then we are going to have also pancreatic enzyme output, whether it's different proteolytic enzymes. Also, gallbladder is going to come in there with lipase, or I should say with bile salts. You're going to get some lipase from the pancreas as well, trypsin, chymotrypsin. So a lot of these enzymes come in there and start the breakdown. And so most of the digestion of proteins going to happen in the small intestine, and the absorption is going to happen via the microvilli in the small intestine. So anytime you have something in the colon, there should technically be no meat in the colon because that's where digestion is going to happen, is the small intestine. Now, you may see a little bit of leftover fermentation with plant proteins in the colon, partly because of the fact there's a lot of anti-nutrients kind of trapping a lot of the plants and the plant protein and the plant fiber. And sometimes that can be really hard to digest. That's why when you get lots of gas, most of the time that gas is going to be from fermenting plant fibers, and just the anti-nutrients around it prevent trypsin and trypsin, chymotrypsin from working. These are proteolytic enzymes, and they're also going to be harder to break down. So then you get a lot of this fermentation in the colon. So most of what you're going to see undigested is going to be plant-based. Think about when the last time you saw a piece of steak in your stool. Now, it's possible if you have really crummy digestion, maybe you have ulcerative colitis or Crohn's, and your gut's so inflamed it's just pushing things out so fast because of the inflammation and diarrhea. But most of the time, all that protein is going to be absorbed in your small intestine. Most of the time, people are going to see nuts and seeds and plant fibers and carrots. Of course, things like corn always come to mind, right? You see big chunks of corn, partly because of the anti-nutrients. Wrapping that corn up makes it harder to break down unless you really chew it well and expose the insides by chewing. Then you're going to have better surface area for your enzymes and acids to work. So no, meat does not go undigested in your colon unless you have some kind of significant digestive imbalance. So that being said, if you have a hard time with meat, almost always you don't have adequate levels of stomach acid. Your pH is too high in your stomach. Remember, more acid means lower pH. More acid, lower pH. We need that nice low pH for disinfecting, closing that esophageal sphincter, also activating our proteolytic enzymes, pepsin, pepsinogen to pepsin. And that good acidic chyme triggers our small intestine to produce bile from our gallbladder and more proteolytic enzymes and lipase, fat digesting enzymes, from our pancreas. So really important that we have good digestive physiology. Now, that being said, it's possible you could have other bugs in your tummy that could make it harder for you to digest proteins and fats. And again, good proteins and fats typically come together. It's very rare you're going to get proteins by themselves, unless it's like rabbit meat or really lean venison or some type of like boneless, skinless chicken breast. Right? For the most part, you're going to get that good fat along with the protein. And so first off, look at your enzymes, look at your acid levels. Are you eating when you're stressed? Do you have ulcerative colitis, Crohn's, some kind of autoimmune inflammatory bowel disease, IBD, that's really causing the gut to be inflamed? And if so, is there SIBO? Is there fungal overgrowth? Is there yeast overgrowth? Is there parasitic infections like Giardia, Cryptosporidium, Entamoeba histolytica, Blastocystis hominis? Are any of these infections at play? If so, you really got to look deeper. But no, in general, meat does not stay undigested in their colon unless you have some kind of pathophysiology that's really impacting digestion outside of kind of a normal spectrum of dysfunction. That being said, you really want to dive in and get some comprehensive gut testing done. I'll put some links below of the different tests that I recommend out of the gate. You can click that link and kind of get going on that. If you also want to reach out to a good functional medicine doctor who's educated in this and can kind of dial in and get to the root of it, there'll be a link to reach out to myself and my colleagues. I'm available kind of via telemedicine, phone, etc., worldwide. So feel free and take that opportunity if you want to dive in deeper. Again, out of the gates, want you all educated, think deep, get to the root cause, look upstream, above, below, inside out, right? You want to get to the root. Hope this video was helpful for you. All right, guys, take care. Have a good one.